Hi, once again this is Ed from Exotic Blanks, welcoming you to another video to try to make your turning more successful. This particular video is on completing the Cholla pen. We've had a number of questions this week about people getting the Cholla blank and not knowing exactly how to deal with it. So we're putting this together to show you how it can look as you go through the final process of making it into a pen. As you can see, the blank is not pretty when you get to this stage. I have turned it from the normal size down to the nearly pen finish size. And there's a number of areas that are ups and downs, and there's holes in it and so forth. Cholla was not designed to be cast. So there are difficulties with trying to get all the resin into the voids of the Cholla. So what we're doing here is, as you can see, taking off all of the sawdust, or actually the white dust that forms. I'm doing that with boiled linseed oil. That's popularly called BLO. So we take boiled linseed oil and rub back and forth on the blank to get off all of the dust. That's the first stage because you don't want to put CA over dust. It will then become part of your pen no matter what you do. So I've removed all the dust, and now I'm going to put on the first coat of thin CA. The purpose of this coat is primarily to keep the dissimilar types of material. You have resin and you have a Cholla, which is more of a wood. Keep those two together so that you don't have problems with the blank falling apart as you get toward the end. I've put on the thin CA, and I've tried to take a very close view of this so that you can see what it's going to look like throughout the different stages here. Again, it's BLO and then thin CA. The BLO is an accelerator for CA glue, so you will find out that it gets quite warm. It's a good idea. You'll notice my fingers get out of the way fairly quickly here because it got hot. But that's what we're doing. We're trying to improve the texture and hold things together a little better. As you can see at this stage, it still is not a flat surface. It's very irregular. There are pock marks, which is, I put up a circle on one. There are a number of these. And because the material is dissimilar, I believe that's the reason you get these sections that are just not, they don't turn off the way that you would like them to. They end up being ups and downs. So there's a number of ways to approach that. The way that I have found that I like the best is to put a couple of coats of the thin CA on it so that it has an opportunity to at least hold the materials together. And then I'll put a couple of coats of thick CA on, or medium CA. Usually I use thick if I can find it. Once that's done, though, you'll find that you still don't have a flat surface. The material is still going to have ups and downs. When you put coats of CA on a material that is irregular, the material does not get any more regular. The CA is absorbed up and down just like the surface is up and down. Later we'll come to fixing that problem, but right now all we're doing is trying to make sure everything stays together, and you're reinforcing. You're not really trying to make pretty yet. Here I've gone to a real close-up as much as I can to show the ups and downs, the spots. There are places here close to the Cholla where the resin has not gotten real tight to the Cholla. There are all these areas that have white in them are the areas that I now have to clean up. Again, I'm cleaning it with a BLO, boiled linseed oil, and you can see there's that pock mark is still there. Nothing has gone away. We are just trying to clean it up again and go back to putting, now I'm going to try to fill these things. The next step will be taking some thick CA and putting it on the blank without trying to make it regular. I'm just putting on thick CA in areas where I think the blank needs filling. I'm not turning it much. I'm just trying to keep the CA filling the spots that were bad spots. As you can see, this is not a scientific process. It's just a matter of putting the CA on it and letting it thicken. I will be using a spritzer and putting some accelerator on it, but I try to turn it very slowly to get it to be as even as possible. All of this is building up, and yes, at the end I'm going to have to sand all of this off, but I'm filling the holes. And that's what I want to accomplish here. I'm getting all of the blank filled so that I can later come back and sand it off and make it flat. So that's the basics of how to do it. As you can see, it's not earth science. It's fairly simple, and it's just a matter of getting a block on there. And once you've got it built up, then we'll come back later on. I let it sit for a day and come back later on and sand it all smooth. And once it's sanded smooth, then we start working on a normal CA coating and getting it so it's pretty. That's all there is to it. This is Ed from Exotic Blanks, once again saying thanks for listening. Hope you have better success with your Cholla blanks as a result of watching this. Have a good day now. Bye.